The Chicago Bulls clinched the play-in tonight after a dominating win over the Toronto Raptors. Good bounce back win if you are the Chicago Bulls. Question on the table today. That a good thing? Now, if you are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the page. You do talk Chicago Bulls weekly on this channel. It's the only channel talking Bulls, how Bulls fans talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in with us as always. See Red Nation. Listen, a game the Bulls should have won, they won tonight. I'm not going to sit here and go into great detail. There were some good plays, some people that you could point out. Thought Kevin Huerter had a great game, didn't miss a shot until that fourth quarter. Kobe White had a solid game. He contributed 28 points. DHT with a weirdly dominant game for a half of that game, just about. But and Josh Giddey contributed as well. Listen, it was versus the Toronto Raptors. It's a game I expected the Bulls to be able to go out there and win. It's a game that I thought that the Bulls should be able to go out there and win. Guess what? The Bulls went out and they won the game. Good job. Now you got to talk about the fact that you have clinched a play-in spot yet again. The Bulls right now sit in that 10th seed spot, which is going to be interesting to see kind of where they finish out. I think a lot of the conversation around this team was that they were going to end up finishing out in that 9th seed, 8th seed spot. And that still is very much in play. Listen, the Miami Heat are on a 5-game win streak here, and all of a sudden have gotten hot again. The Orlando Magic just lost the game, so this kind of puts the Bulls, excuse me, back in a different conversation here. And of course, got to see how their games are going to end tonight. Actually looking at it right now, Magic end up beating the Spurs tonight, so they're back in the win column, so nothing will change there. And then the Miami Heat ended up beating yesterday. They beat the Wizards, so they got the Celtics coming up tomorrow. That's going to be a tough matchup for them. Y'all know how Boston and Miami get down, so you never know how that's going to go with these guys being on a little bit of a heater. But either way, I think the conversation right now is the fact that the Bulls are probably going to end up being around that 9th to 8th seed spot. And as you're heading into a play-in tournament, is that going to benefit you here? Now, as far as it being where I want the Bulls to be, I don't know. Listen, I told y'all, it's not how I want things to go. I would love for this to be a young core that figured it out, hit a rough patch because the competition got tougher, and all of a sudden they end up being the 10th seed and they get bounced out of this thing immediately. I don't think that's his Bulls team. I think you've got a young core that's playing some of the best basketball that they've been playing. Now, last couple of games, definitely a little bit of a flub in that good basketball play, but you saw them get back into being able to take care of a team tonight. Guess what? Versus OKC, they looked like a basketball team that was going up against one of the best basketball teams in basketball. It didn't surprise me what we saw to OKC, plus the Bulls were a little bit shorthanded there. The Dallas game was a little surprising. That's one that I thought that the Bulls would get. Surprised to see how they played in that Dallas game. Almost came back, almost doesn't work in this situation. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, I still feel like this is a Bulls team that is going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to make a run here through the play-in tournament, which is not the best outcome at the end of the day, but it's the outcome that AK is trying to have as the best outcome. And you've got a young core that may be figuring some things out. Listen, not a great game tonight out of Modest Buzelis. Would I like to see a little bit more? Not a bad game, just didn't do much. 3 for 5 for the night, 1 for 2 from the 3-point line. Ended up scoring 9 points. I thought defensively he did some really good things, especially coming away with 4 steals in this game. So seeing more of his impact on the defensive end than on the offensive end in this game. He's got to pick it back up a little bit. But how you're seeing this young core play, Kobe White getting voted player of the month, right? And got to talk about that as well. You're seeing the Bulls play some of their best basketball that we've seen in the month of March. Now you're heading into April, and you hope that that's going to be able to continue. This is a good way to get things started. Bulls have some competition coming up here that could be interesting on the schedule that could make some things difficult here. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. Do you like the fact that the Bulls are making the play-in tournament? Do you like the fact that the Bulls have clinched in the play-in tournament? Or do you feel like, Probably should have missed this one out. Are you on the tankers? Are you still on that tanking bandwagon? Let me know in the comments below. Here's the part that I do find interesting, though. We saw out of OKC. Bulls get a win tonight. They got the Blazers. They got the Hornets. That's going to probably allow you to pick up a couple of games if you go into both of those games and handle business. Then you got the Cavs. And I think that's going to be the one where it's like, okay, what do you actually look like versus a team that if you make the playoffs, you're going to be matched up with? The Bulls are going to have to figure some things out with how they're doing things matchup-wise. I don't like the fact that Billy Donovan basically just doesn't play Jalen Smith. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think that he is the guy that if you're going to play this too big lineup of somebody and Zach Collins, it needs to be him and not Vooch and Zach Collins. Because guess what? If you got Evan Mobley coming up, he's going to absolutely dominate you down there with Jared Allen if you've got that too big lineup. To me, this is the time for you to figure some things out. Unfortunately, we're not seeing much out of that from Billy Donovan, which means you could be heading into the playoffs. And while I knew it was going to be, look, it's Cavs in 5. I'm not sitting here telling you that I think the Bulls are going to go in there and give them a run for their money and make this a 7-game series. What I do think the Bulls can do is make every single game tough, make it difficult, make the Cavs kind of – I don't think the Bulls are a team that any playoff team wants to play right now. You don't want to play the team that's on a heater. You don't want to play the team that's getting hot. You don't want to play the team that's figured things out about themselves at the end of the year, because that belief is through the roof. And while they may not have the talent to beat you, they can go out there and make things very difficult. You want it to be an easy 4-game sweep if you're the 1 seed. I don't think that anybody in this tournament right now wants to play the Chicago Bulls. And listen, the Chicago Bulls could also be going up against, if they can get up there and win a game, you could see this Bulls team getting prepared for the Celtics, who the Bulls have played a little bit more solid than not. Now, this season has been a little bit different, but we've seen this Bulls team in the past give the Celtics a really good run for their money. And I think that again, the Celtics are a team that don't want to see the Chicago Bulls here in the first round. So as we get ready for the play-in tournament, man, we'll keep you covered with everything over here. Of course, we're going to keep you covered over on Locked On Bulls with me and Hayes as well from Chicago Bulls Central. So tap in with us over there as well. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you feel like this is going to be a good thing for the Chicago Bulls? Because now getting into a play-in series, not with DeMar DeRozan, not with Zach LaVine, not with, well, Nikola Vucevic still on the team, but not with Nikola Vucevic, right? You're going into this with young pieces, with a young core that, listen, young players making the play-in on their own merit, playing some of their best basketball when you got all of the other pieces out of the way. I've got a little bit more intrigue in you being a play-in tournament than I would in watching the Zach LaVine team run it back. Now, at the end of the day, show me more. Don't just show me the play-in. Show me more. Show me that you have what it takes to be competitive in the playoffs and head into next season with riding a little bit high. But I do believe that this is a situation where if you can finish out this season strong, maybe find your way into that 8-7 seed, win that 8-7 matchup if you can, this could be interesting watching this Bulls team moving forward. And I'm going to keep you covered here over on Chicago Bulls Breeze. Let me know how you guys feel. Like I said, as always, man, it's your boy Pat, the designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. See Red Nation. Stand up. Peace.